What is this anime fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I must, absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. But I thought you said he got behind you. That's it? That's the anime fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about that testimony? Very important. Of course it's important. We've learned a detective's secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. That's because you were gonna take a hit out on him. Now then, witness, we'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I could have sworn he said, yeah, back of the head. What, did he go through the wall and hit you? Detective Atme, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now you testified they struck you in the forehead, on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hidden on the head. It seems I've made another mistake. That's not a mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part in your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. To err is human. To forgive divine. Humans are machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. And cups of coffee. Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that. Ooh. Really? What is it like then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Atme is Master Mask. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atme's true identity is actually Mask Day Mask. Yeah. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atme's story. He always says that he was hiding at the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then in his last case, he manages to outperform Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen item. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police had overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh please, the explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. The truth is that you are in fact Mask Day Mask. Gah. But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Master Mask. No, it doesn't. It shows an imposter. Oh wait, no, that's right. It had this thing right. The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor's department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense to providing security. Then he simply dressed as the thief and stole the urn. So the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? Ha ha. Ha 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 ha! The Mask's MO is pure genius, and so am I. Hey, look at me, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I'm impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atme, when you assume that thief's identity... Excuse you? Godot Blend 102, my personal favorite. Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem, it simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points tonight. I'll admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of a whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it'd better be as hot and perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have quickly. Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Emmy looks pretty rattled right now. And I'd like to finish this right now if I can, but can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves that Mr. Luke Atme is in fact Master Killer. Master Mask. It's yet to be found. It's right here! As usual, defense comes prepared, Your Honor. Very well then, let's see what you've got. Please present proof that Master Mask is actually Luke Atme. This thing? Here's your proof. What do you think, Mr. Godot? Looks to me like Mr. Troid's still might sleepy. Perhaps he'd like a big mug of my special Godot blend. Well? No thanks, I'm fine, really. I swear to God. What do I do now? Another mistake like that and I'm through. Without some decisive evidence, I could be risking everything. Okay, I don't have a thing. Proof? Of course I've got nothing. Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high, no matter how bad things get, after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy's the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose this? I don't have anything! So you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding the witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add, then... Oh, who? Who are you? It doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. Oh, you're a godsend, and I really wish your husband was found guilty, to be honest. You mean that bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well, that's the sacred urn, Nick. It's the urn. Order, you, madam. That urn, where did you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants as ace detective, Luke Atme. Oh, Desi, you're the best. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atme? I just have Miss Delight and only Miss Delight. Even you're going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one. Huh, pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to add? Yes, Your Honor, it simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Atme was involved? Before casting aspersions, Detective Atme, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desire? Delight, is that correct? Sure. Yes, what about it? I'm just gonna call her Miss Delight. Huh. How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal who could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere, including the office of the good detective here. So, you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Please, madam. This town's already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to. You're wrong, I would never do such a thing. Miss Delight. Please, Nicky boy, you've gotta help me talk some sense into these people. There must be some way. I've gotta prove that the urn was actually in the detective agency. Testifying what I saw doesn't matter. I can't prove anything. Fingerprints! I can prove where the urn was. If he has his fingerprints on it, then he's kind of fucked. By the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, eh? Now you're really making me laugh. Sir Lawyer, fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence on anything. Of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? I've come too far to turn back now. Adme must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defense proposes that the fingerprints on this person should be on the urn. Well, Phoenix did put his hand in there. So what is all the fuss this fuss about fingerprints anyways? Mr. Adme, do you recall? No, fuck it. Hey, Nick, open up. Open it up. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at that time, but I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that it was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atme's office. If they're not on there, I don't know what smooth, hard thing I just touched. Objection! Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say? Not what I said. It's what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibit, says. I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Atme Detective Agency. Huh. This blend, good old blend number 107. I've decided. It's a little too bitter after all. Order, I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, you take this urn and Wait. Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying? Yes, I've finally broken him down. Ha 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 ha. Take a look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I'm the one and only Master Mask. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. Ha 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 ha. So, Mr. Light, you good for dinner? Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Amy's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all. I'm always right. Well, except once. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, not guilty. I swear to God. You're wrong. Wrong, I tell you. I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was just really trying to say. Oh no, he's not. This can't be happening. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me, I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. So do it. Pronounce me guilty, please. Okay, guilty. I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judgment. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you. Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Hey there, Mr. Thief. Yes, sir. If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you're Master Mask, then prove it. That's what it means. Yes, sir, I'll be happy to. He says he'll be happy to, Nick. It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to this fantasy. Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. I know that. I won't fail, I swear. Okay, then talk. We're all listening. Oh well, let's all have a listen to his confession. Please, no. The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Master Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the stage of the crime. Look, you can see it right here in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it tore off, that's all. I don't like the direction this trial is taken. But this is how every trial goes, at least with me, anyway. Huh. You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're the only going to get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask. Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Can't just have him get guilty so I can hang out with his wife. It's a win-win. You may think you're the real Master Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional. I'm gonna side with your wife. I haven't told Desi yet, but about my true identity. I mean, believe me, I've got my own reasons. With the way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it? You know, even thieves have complicated family situations, I suppose. What should I do? It sounds like we're about to get sidetracked again. Fuck it, press harder. So why are you withholding the truth from your wife? Well, first of all, I don't think she'd believe me anyway. And second, if there's one thing that Desi absolutely detests, it's criminals. If that's the case, then why do you ever start thieving to begin with? Well, Desi is crazy about shopping. She's a real shopaholic. But she's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desi-holic. So you do have a complicated family situation after all. Alright, that's enough. Please continue with your testimony, I beg of you. I thought you were going to be the one to show us the proof. You know, that you're the real Master Mask and not some kind of obsessed fanboy. Hey, no, that's not fair. Why do I have to do all the hard work anyway? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim. For a change. Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. It's time to put it to work already. I need some kind of proof that wrong couldn't possibly be Master Mask. Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we? For the time being, maybe I need to shift strategy. I could try to show the court that Mr. Light couldn't have stolen the urn. Anyway, Can I? I don't know. What do I have? Oh, this. Got you, buddy. It doesn't happen at 1 a.m. that he was spotted. Mr. Light, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Ah, yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere. Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away. No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice you'd lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Dazzy and I went out for dinner. I had to pay after all. This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. That proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security. So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi. Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken it 30 minutes to get by car, according to Larry anyway. So it's more like 15. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee. It's a different coffee. Go on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it. I win. I will. He's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at this first day of school. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not at the heist. Planted him there. He's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The key card to the KB Security CEO office. No. Huh. That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? Motive, of course. Why would the thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all. Oh, this stupid kid. Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KV Security at that night. It would have been this blackmail letter. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? Yeah, that's... What is it? The blackmail letter, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail. Yes, basically it says bring $50,000. Did it just say really $50,000? That certainly sounds like blackmail, right? At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself in KV Security's CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. No. Order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KV Security. It looks like a perfect case for the defense. You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my good old blend number 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say that the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company? But did you actually investigate the CEO at all? No, I guess not. I couldn't. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof, I'm not sure what I think of that. I'm not sure what I think of that. At least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim the defendant entered the CEO's office, but you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. White. Nick, I think we are going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify that the key card was used at 1 a.m. that night. Fucking not Larry. Please, no. Oh, it's this useless-looking young man. You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. Just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. It looks like he doesn't remember that case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked out that memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KV Security that night. Oh? The question at hand is his key card. And if that's the key card they use in the building I work, according to the serial number, this one is for the CEO's office. You need to get it into the room, and every time you use that card, I believe that card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this key card's data. Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO of KV Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but got the keycard data here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Master Mask in this photo. Huh, looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then, Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KV Security at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Master Mask. Good job, you did it, Nick. No. Here's my caveat to that, actually. It's not that it's impossible that he's Master Mask. It's that it's impossible Master Mask did it, if he is indeed Master Mask. I can rule out that he did not commit this crime. Just in case I want to cover myself for anything else. That's enough. I came precariously close to besmirching the name of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment. Before I can do so, do you have any further objections? No. No, Your Honor. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. Good. Yet another one that I always win. Court is now adjourned. Nick, you did it! You were right after all. I'm always right.